Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily DVAR Halacha. And here's a brand new halacha for you, and it's for Sunday, the 17th day of May. Here we go. Now, you know you're also not allowed to tan leather on Shabbos. It was one of the 39 malachas, the 39 works that was involved in building the Mishkan. So if you were to do anything that is done in the process of tanning leather hides, that is not allowed to be done on Shabbos by you. And there are some activities that you might want to do that actually fall into this category, so watch out for them. Here they are. First of all, if you have a pair of shoes that are very stiff and you wanted to just bend them a bunch of times back and forth before you put them on to soften up the leather in the shoes, that falls under the category of processing leather and kind of under tanning, and therefore you're not allowed to do that on Shabbos. If you have a shoe that has lost its shape and you want to put it into a shoe tree, you know, one of those things that stretches out the shoe to put it back into its proper shape, that's also working the leather, and that would fall into the category of tanning, and you're not allowed to do it on Shabbos. You're also not allowed to oil any leathers on Shabbos because that also falls somehow under the category of tanning, and you're not allowed to do it. Salting, now this is interesting. One of the things that they did to make leather hides be worked, you know, and softened up for the tanning process was to salt them heavily, and therefore certain types of saltings of fresh things are not allowed to be done on Shabbos because they resemble tanning. So first of all, I got to tell you right off the bat that if you're working with any cooked foods like cooked meat, cooked eggs, cooked fish, or all those kinds of things, you don't have to worry about this prohibition, because when you put salt on cooked foods, you're generally not in the category of tanning because they're cooked already and the salt is not going to affect them very greatly. But some fresh vegetables, if you were to put salt on them in a good amount, that could cause them to get worked, kind of, sort of, and could fall into the category of tanning. And therefore, when salting fresh vegetable type of things, here's the general rule that we try to follow, and that is you could salt a scallion or something right before you want to eat it, and that's not going to fall into the category of tanning. That's going to look much more like eating because you salted it right before you ate it. Also, you should kind of make certain that when you're salting fresh vegetables that you're salting one at a time, and then it again does not look or give the appearance that you're doing anything that's tanning because you're just doing one at a time. But if you were to salt fresh vegetables, a lot of them, and long before they're being eaten, then it looks a little bit like tanning, and it's not supposed to be done. Even cooked foods, which are generally okay to be salted because it doesn't resemble any major change in the food, but if you do it for a long time in advance, like Friday night, you're salting some meat that you're going to be eating at Shalashudas, you know, a long while later, then that too is not supposed to be done on Shabbos. So watch out for salting whenever you're doing fresh vegetables a lot at a time, or when you're salting cooked foods, but for like hours and hours and hours before you're going to eat them. Those two are not allowed to be done because they give the impression that they resemble the tanning activity. Thanks for logging on, and log on again tomorrow for more. Bye-bye.